Hills of jumbled boulders rise up out of the desert floor. For ancient people, this area was an oasis in the arid landscape. This trail takes you to a different time, where stories are told in rock paintings called pictographs. My guide, Bob White, and I climb and crawl to see some of the more than 3,000 pictographs hidden in Hueco Tanks State Park and Historic Site.
And black and white and red and yellow, the common colors you see at pictograph sites.
Look within the graffiti. There are pictographs of horses.
The person on the horse does look like it would be a Spaniard, the way his legs are decorated. There's a general consensus of opinion among your archaeologists and anthropologists that the rock art was not done to be creative or artistic, but rather was a part of a ritual or a ceremony.
Our next stop is at what's called the umbrella shelter. I had to slide on my back to see these pictographs. Because they're so hidden, it's kind of like reading an ancient diary.
And just like today, you have people go off and to meditate. They won't have solitude, be alone, and think. And it's a form of therapy. And that would be my interpretation of why the person painted those images underneath that boulder. Because they're in a very hidden location. It was something very personal to that person.
Next, we scramble through a triangle crevice in the boulders.
This style is called mask. And then this one up here also. There's about 200 mask paintings here at Hueco Tanks. It's the largest number at any site in the country. And we're going to go on up the canyon here.
Bob makes hiking in Mescalero Canyon look easy. As I follow him, I watch every step. We head into Comanche Cave.
Sometime some years ago, somebody put W-A-T-T-E-R. That's how they spell water. You got H-E-A-R, water here.
There's water in there!
There's a large water hole.
The signs are right.
This painting here is claimed by the Tiwa Indians. The Tiwas are called Isleta del Sur Pueblo, people of the sun. In their interpretation, the outside represents the sun. Inside there's a three-sided sun pueblo, and there's an arrow ports into it. And their interpretation is one day they hope to return to their home place. I see his head and he's holding like a spear.
Yeah.
But what I like is the way they decorated it on the right-hand side. There's some handprints up here. There's another one with a shield in front of his body. A couple of them.
And somebody's name from 1849.
We had to work our way through some brush to see a big red rectangle mask.
So it looks like it's just a square head, right?
Yes.
Then we hiked up to a rock shelter.
So these are all grinding holes?
Yes. They've been grinding beans or corn for food preparation or grinding the rocks to make their paint. But there's a lot of them all the way through. It's up to my elbow.
Wow.
That deep. And there's more of them here. People spend a lot of time here.
I could see why with the view.
Oh, there's a painting here. It's gotten smoked up. Here are the legs. It looks like it's a person with a dress on.
Yeah.
And the head is up here. You can just barely make it. This head and his arms are out like
Straight up.
this.
So we're making our way back down.
Including scooting down in this steep spot, then stopping to see more pictographs up in a rock shelter.
There they are. See two red ones? And then in the white, it's a man on a horse.
Our last stop was at the 1841 Hueco Tanks battle scene between Tigua and Kiowa Indians. Here a Tigua has a Kiowa by the neck. The narrow waist indicates the Kiowa were likely starving. A snake signifies water, and the serpent and figure are not touching, meaning the Kiowa had little food or water during the 10-day battle. So many stories just in that one pictograph, and throughout Hueco Tanks State Park and Historic Site.